Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is the Have and the Have Not Season 5, Episode 2, and the name of this episode is Waiting for Candace. Man, this episode was fucking awesome. I loved it from beginning to end. It was great. So let me get started. It starts off where we left off from the last episode, where Veronica and Catherine are coming to blows. She's stabbing her ass up. They're fighting and shit. They get to the top of the stairs, and finally they're like going back and forth with the knife and shit. Next thing you know, Veronica's able to get control of the knife, and it cuts Catherine. Then she kicks Catherine down the stairs, and then that's where it left off in that scene. Next, we have Jeffrey and Wyatt. And I must say, Wyatt is still the same self-loathing sack of shit he was before he fucking, had the overdose. It's like he's still that same asshole that he's always been since season 1. And it's like he's still doing all of this shit to nitpick at Jeffrey and, always tries to find ways to belittle him and shit. Like, just doing all of this childish shit that Wyatt has always done. He's still asking him who did he kill, and then he's asking, like, why do you love me? And he's like, look, you're my friend, and I care about you. Like, why wouldn't I love you? He's like, oh, that's not the reason. Like, Wyatt, really? You're supposed to be so fucking straight, but yet you're constantly, kind of like doing, like, undertone picking at him about his gayness. Like, Wyatt, who the fuck you think you're fooling? Like, seriously. I mean, because I'm going to stay here, and people may disagree with me, but I'm going to let it be known. Wyatt wants Jeffrey. Jeffrey still loves him and cares for him as a friend. I mean, he will always have that love for him, but he already knows that Wyatt right now is not in the mental space to really be in a relationship with him. Wyatt is too fucking damaged. And, well, to tell you the truth, Justin ain't too far off either, because the motherfuckers got a crazy situation. I mean, Justin on some brand new shit since, Jeffrey done, beat them cakes up. Just saying. But, pretty much they're going back and forth, and, pretty much, he's telling Jeffrey to help him. He wants to leave, and that he has an apartment, and he's gonna go there, and that Jeffrey can stay there with him until he gets back to health and shit. I'm like, so you fuck your own self up, get a damn overdose, and then now you want this grown ass man to sit there and babysit your ass? Like, seriously, Wyatt. It's like Wyatt just totally depends on Jeffrey, and it's fucking crazy. And Jeffrey is, I think he morally does it. I mean, I know he's in love with Wyatt, but I don't think that's why he constantly gives in to him. I think he constantly gives in to him because he cares and he wants, this person that he's looked up to get better. Because I think in a way he does look up to Wyatt. I mean, hello, it's kind of like it's the Criers and the Harringtons. And let's just be real. This is the Criers. This is the Harringtons, pretty much. I mean, yeah, they operate in the same circles, but as far as money-wise, two totally different plateaus. So, but at least within this conversation, Wyatt finally admitted that he's an addict. So I'm like, big ups for that, because that's the first step to moving forward. You have to admit you have a problem. Next thing you know, Jeffrey, is on the phone with Candace. All this time, he's been trying to call her ass back, and she has not once picked up the fucking phone until now. And we know that since he's been trying to call her, so much has happened. The police are at her house. That's one of the situations that happened. And he's pretty much stood up to his mother. So, and then now he's been told Justin everything. So, all this has happened prior to him getting on the phone with Candace. And tell me why the fuck, while they on the damn phone, they're going back and forth about who killed Quincy. You know, he up there making scenes just like, well, you know, you killed Quincy, and you know, and I'm like, oh no, the fuck you didn't, Jeffrey. Like, y'all both stabbed him. But she said, like, look, you know damn well my wounds didn't stab him. You the one who stabbed him up and down his back. That's where the fatal wounds were. And he just like, look, let's just say we both did it. I'm like, yeah. Like, come on now. Like, you're up there going back and forth to say who killed who. Like, it's like each person trying to take the other one down. It's like, man, it seemed to me that Jeffrey and Candace, you know, close kinship is going to be tested now. And he also let her know that, you know, that the police and everything is at the house, and that Justin told him that someone called the cops, and you know that's why they're there. Like, they got a warrant. So we're gonna see where this is gonna go from there. Next we see Hannah's playing with little Quincy, and little Quincy's helping her wash the dishes. So she tells him to go upstairs. She wants to talk to Benny. Her and Benny sit down and have a conversation. Benny still wants to have faith in Candace and still wants to believe that his sister's going to come through, because let's just be real. Like, Candace may have done a lot of fucked up shit, but Candace has always come through for Benny, and she's always, you know, did everything to, you know, as far as making sure Benny's good. She's always been there for him. So Benny, on the other hand, has a side of Candace that Hannah doesn't get. But Hannah, because she's so self-righteous and completely full of herself at times, she just really don't want to see nobody else's way. It's like she is just preaching and, you know, speaking in tongues or whatever the fuck she does all the fucking time, but yet every time she never gets a different reaction. So I was so here for Benny standing up to her in this scene, because he finally got her to realize, look, Mom, you never encourage her, you never acknowledge her. All you do is pick at her and nag at her, and you talk at her, and yet nothing never changes. So maybe the problem ain't her, maybe the problem is you. I know she has her issues, but you, on the other hand, you act like you so damn perfect. And she's like, oh no, I'm not perfect. I am, you know. And she's like, oh no, I'm never perfect. You know, I've made mistakes in the past, and I'm making mistakes right now. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like right now, you're making other mistakes, not realizing that you need to change your approach with Candace. Because obviously, this approach the approach that you've been using is obviously not working. So why don't you try something different, Hannah? So Hannah gets in her feelings and was like, oh, well, you can sit here and wait for Candace if you want to, but I'm going to take little Quincy and I'm going to go upstairs and we going to pack. He's like, yeah, go upstairs and pack and pray about it. I was like, oh, okay, Benny. You kind of stepped in, like, yeah, I was all good for you standing up, but boy, you kind of crossing the line. You know, God gonna beat that ass if you don't slow your roll. But yeah, I have to say that was a good scene, because it was good that he finally stood up to her and was saying that, look, you always talking about Candace this and Candace that, but damn, you're not perfect either, Mom. It's like you so stubborn and so stuck in your ways, like you don't even see that there's times that she has come through. She may have done messed up things, but at the end of the day, Candace is not a bad person. And we all, as fans of the have and have-nots, we know that Candace is a good person. That's why we root for her so much. All right. Okay, next we actually see Erica and David. They're still flirting at the bar, going back and forth. And she pretty much is filling him out, and she pretty much feels the fact that he is nervous. This is still his first time, so he's kind of jittery, and she definitely still tells that he's not fully loose. So she pretty much tells him that, you know, you're supposed to be, you know, having a new start, but yet you're still fidgety and you're still timid. It's like, I think it's maybe because, you know, you must have had a really bad relationship with your wife. I mean, what happened? I mean, so she pretty much gives him the thing like, you know, this is about, you know, let's talk about having a new life, you know, and knowing what that's about. So she's like, I'll give you some time to talk about your wife. And first David's like, no, I don't know you well enough to talk about her. And she's like, well, that's the main reason why you should. I don't know her. I'm just getting to know you slowly. So I really have like no partisanship on either side. So just tell me what's going on. So he lets her know about, him and Veronica meeting in college. They struggled together, and, they've had Jeffrey, and they've been through so much together till all of a sudden everything unraveled. And she was like, so what, she cheated? They wanted you cheat? And she's like, well, how do you know that? He's like, look, a lot of times when something unravels like that, it's due to the fact that either, there's a loss of money, or someone cheated, or something else bad happened. And from the looks of you, money's not your issue. So obviously she cheated. What happened? She's like, well, yeah, but that's the worst. That's the least of it. I mean, we naturally know the main thing is because she continues to reject Jeffrey for being gay. So pretty much she says that, look, I'm going to be your revenge girl. Pretty much I'm the one that's going to be in your corner. I'll be there by your side. There won't be any sex involved, but I'll just be a friend that can always lend an ear, and a friend that can give you a good time and get you to live and breathe again. And next thing you know, there was like an overwhelming of swag that came out of David Harrington. Do you hear me? I was so here for it. I was like, oh shit, David. Talking about Veronica and getting that shit off your chest kind of gave you that swag. I was like, okay, Pastor Gavassi, David, I'm feeling you on that. And then next thing you know, she parts ways, but before he does, he gives her a kiss on the cheek, and you just see him blossom. And I'm like, oh, check out David, she got you. But then again, Erica is marking him because he's been marked by Erica and Candace. So, but I think at the end of the day, even though he's smitten with her, he's still kind of a little on the fence. But I think he's, because how David is. David is always, that subconscious state of mind of his is always working. So he pretty much has a poker face. He can look at, because it's like after she left, he looked like real pleased, but then he also kind of looked like curious at the same time. He gave like that back and forth look, which was genius, and I definitely picked that up. Next, we actually see David and Brandon. David is right now in this apartment or whatever, and David's cut, and I was like, oh shit, David, swole like a motherfucker. He's up in his white beard, doing what he got to do. Brandon shows up, and he pretty much opens up about Veronica. He's like, look, I got to, this is a place that I got to set up because I'm trying to get away from her ass. I ain't got time for her bullshit no more. She don't give a damn about our marriage. She don't give a damn about anything. Like, Veronica is going to come after me because I know how this bitch is. She's a person that doesn't let up until she wins. That's what made her a great attorney, but that even makes her even a greater enemy. So I got to make sure I keep my shit clean and I keep myself clear. And he says, so does she know about this place? And she's like, no, this place is completely off the radar. Nobody knows about this place. I got rid of the mortgage and everything years ago. So yeah, I'll be safe here. And then he lets him know that about, him meeting with Erica or whatever. And even Brandon, a.k.a. Oscar, kind of peeped that, he saw a different change in David, just like I had mentioned before. And but then he pretty much tells him that he asks Brandon, have you found anything on Erica? And he says no. She's like, okay, fine. Don't worry about it. Never mind with that. He's like, I can look into it if you want to. He's like, look, no, it's good. And he's like, you feeling her, huh? You really like her. He's like, you see David's kind of like, getting into that new life phase, which is good. But then again, I have to admit, Brandon, I'm still on the fence with, because we just recently found out that who Brandon truly is. But then it's like, I'm wondering what role is he going to play this season, and I think we definitely have to stay tuned to find that out. because that scene was everything. Yeah. Next, we actually go to next after that, David gets a call from Jim. Jim's ass is still in jail. We find out that Judge Hawthorne is unavailable. He wants to know about Ward getting out and all of that. And he said that, look, this motherfucker got all this, got this crazy ass rap sheet and shit. Like, what's up with that? He's like, look, don't worry about that. Obviously, I need him. Don't ask questions, just get him out of jail. He's like, okay, fine. We'll continue to work on that. But then he tells him to go to Catherine's house because she's been trying to call Catherine and Catherine hasn't been answering. So he says, you need to go there, and there's a key under the flower pot, because I'm not able to get through. Yeah, so that's pretty much what happened there. Next, we actually have Mitch in the court official. This fool is there, and the reason why this guy is there is because they're foreclosing on the property. So he's counting all the cars in the tow yard because the tow yard and everything of the tow yard is going to be repossessed. Pretty much Mitch goes out to talk to this guy. The guy is completely rude as a motherfucker to him. And it's like, I'm here for the court, and, we're counting these cars, and he's like, well, what's this all about? Well, I'm not at liberty to discuss this with you, but if you want, you can talk to your owner, whoever that is, and ask him what's going on. That's how you're going to find out what's going on here, because I'm not telling you anything. Just had this real nasty-ass fucking attitude, and I was like, man, I hope you fuck this guy up. So, after that, he goes in there and he talks to Benny. Benny lets him know that, look, everything's being foreclosed on, but you need to hurry and get your shit out of there because they're probably going to think your car is a part of the tow yard, and they're going to try to keep that shit. And he's like, look, my car I own outright. He's like, yeah, I know that, but they don't give a fuck. They after my ass right now. So I'm saying cover your tracks, get the fuck up out of there and come by my house and see me. And he said that, look, we can sit down and, because, it got to the point where, Mitch was like, look, you're going to tell me what the fuck is going on. He's like, look, just come by my house, I'll tell you everything, but yeah, I'm just letting you know they're about to foreclose on everything, so that's why that guy's there. So he goes out and pretty much, he's about to get him, he's like, could you please move your car? He's like, no, I can't. This is a court investigation, and nothing can leave this tow yard. Nothing. And he's like, first of all, this car is not a part of this tow yard. This is my personal truck. And showed his ass the title. And he's like, it doesn't matter. Nothing can leave this parking lot. Nothing can leave. And he says that, you either follow my instructions or I'm going to call the police. And Mitch just got tired of his shit. So Mitch got his ass up in that fucking truck, backed that shit up. And he's like, where the hell are you going? Are you crazy? He's like, oh, I'm crazy, all right. Backed that shit up and fucked his car up and took off. I was like, that's what I'm talking about, Mitch. I was just like, I'm going to call the police. I'm going to call the police. That part had me dying. I'm like, that's what your ass get. Always motherfuckers always talking shit that can't back it up. Yeah, that's what it is. You was feeling yourself because you got a government position and you work for the courts. Now you came up in that bitch smelling yourself thinking you was the shit. And Mitch wasn't taking your bullshit. Fucked his car up. And I was like, that's what his ass get. I was happy for that shit. I like that scene. Next we actually see Candace pulls up to her house. She gets out of the car. We see that she talks to one of the officers. She's asking what's going on there, and she's like, and he's saying that, like, he's telling her, like, you need to step back, and she's saying that, not until you ask my question. He's like, I'm not telling you nothing unless you step back. And then she's like, look, what the hell's going on? She's like, look, there's a warrant here, they're searching, and pretty much, the owner hasn't returned, but, it's pretty much a warrant. There's there's a search. So when she finally lets him know who she is, that she's Candace Young, he gives her, the warrant that, it's an investigation on a murder. She's like, what the hell is she talking about? And then next thing you know, she pretty much lets you know, like, but as far as I know, she says there's law books up in there. So I'm a law student. So trust me, I will fight this to the fullest extent of the law, and I know my rights. And she's like, well, since you know your damn rights, won't you go step your ass over there on the sidewalk? Then next thing you know, that damn ghetto ass Quita come up there talking her shit, talking some like, bitch, she did something to my brother. I know you did. I know you did something to my brother, bitch. And she's like, won't you find a rock around here? You might be able to smoke it. And then she's like, look, I'm the owner of this place, and I should be able to have the right to go into my own home to do what I have to do. And she pretty much put the Laquita and was like, go find a pipe. I was like, she just went in on Quita's ass, and then Keita started talking. She's like, look, you better take your ass over there across the street before I whoop your ass in these hills. Okay, next we actually see that Justin is working the crime scene. He's kind of like deterring all of the officers from going near the near the backyard. He gets a call from Jeffrey. Jeffrey lets him know that Candace is on her way and that she's probably there right now. So immediately his ass goes outside. He sees Candace. Candace lets him know, oh yeah, you're the officer, all right. You the same motherfucking officer that pretty much tried to sexually violate, that tried to sexually violate Jeffrey in the back of the car. You're pretty much one of these sick classic cases. I wonder how it would be like if, you decide to, go on the other side. If you decided to, overstep your bounds. And I wonder if, mommy and your wife or even your head official would like to know how you've been conducting yourself as an officer, but also worse, what you like behind closed doors. I'm like, Candace, you foul bitch, but I was so here for this shit. And then he says that, oh, and I know about what's going on in the backyard, so therefore I'm here to help you. He's like, I'm here to help you, and you're gonna realize that you need me just as much. So you need to cut the bullshit, and you need to realize I'm your only hope here, and you need to stop fucking with me. So I'm like, okay, Justin, you kind of ducking up too. But then she flips it back and was like, yeah, but let me tell you this. Let them get to that backyard and see who else wants to hear about, what you really get into. So I was like, oh, shit. It's like Candace had to fucking be the pimp in the situation because she realized Jeffrey didn't pimp this boy the way he was supposed to. So because of that, she has to fucking take matters in her own hands. And let's just say Candace handled the shit out of that. Because he letting her know that, yeah, I got something on your ass, I can take you down. But then she's like, oh no, motherfucker, I got everything on you. I know about your fucking rendezvous with Jeffrey up at the Sarandon, and I also know about you trying to fill him up while he was in the police car, and how you personally chased after his ass, and then how you was trying to wrestle up with him up in my house. So I know all the bullshit. And he's like, I don't know what he's told you. Like, he told her everything, Justin. So yeah, you know somebody else that knows about everything that you and Jeffrey's done. So he got some insurance. Good deal. Next, we actually have War and Jim. War and Jim are going back and forth because they both War is like adamant of getting out of jail. He's letting him know he got all the negatives and all the pictures and shit, and that he's going to handle Candace, and that You know, so the reason why Jim's letting him out so that he can get all the negatives and stuff from those pictures that Candace took when she had him kidnapped, and War pretty much was helping her. And he's saying he wants all the positive and the negatives and all that, and he's saying that, you know, and he says also take care of Candace, you know, get rid of the bitch. So, but this motherfucker War is like mad as fuck. Like, he is like going fucking crazy. He's like, why the fuck we ain't out yet? Why the fuck we ain't out yet? He's like, look, we're getting out. Just sit down and shut up. It's like, I can't believe she would do this to me. And he's like, you know, putting drugs on my car. I can't believe this shit. And he's like, why can't you believe that she would do this shit? She's a foul bitch. That's what she do. And I'm like, see, y'all motherfuckers are totally off, because Candace don't got that motherfucking kind of means to put that much fucking cocaine in your fucking car. The kind of cocaine you had in your car, War, you would never get the fuck out of jail. How the fuck is she going to be able to put cocaine in your car after she gave you $2 million? And that's all the fuck she had. Swear these motherfuckers dumb. But anyway, you know, but then again, it's like, okay, we see that going on. So next, we go back to the cry house. Catherine is still knocked out. Veronica tries to find a way to get the fuck out of there, looking for something that she can do to break the damn door or some shit. Next thing you know, we thinking Catherine's out for the count. Oh no, this bitch kind of raises back up for the dead and was like, kind of like Thriller and shit, was like, what the fuck? Or what the fuck, bitch, you trying to leave? You trying to go somewhere? Huh? And I was like, what the fuck, Catherine? Oh my God, bitch, yes! And she's still like on that shit, like please, you know, I just want to leave. I just want to leave. And, you know, Veronica is just like panicking like shit, because her ass back up. She's like, oh no, bitch, this shit ain't fucking over. Oh hell no, this shit ain't over, bitch. You think your ass was just gonna walk away after you did that shit to my son, bitch? So that's pretty much what I was getting from her ass. Like, she was just not having it. And next thing you know, we see fucking David finally comes in, and then Veronica acts like the damsel in distress. Oh, David! Oh, David! I'm like, you weak bitch. I'm like, oh, Veronica, you make me sick. But that shit was cool, because fucking Catherine got her ass back up and was still ready to slice a bitch up. So that's my review for this episode, y'all. You know, subscribe to my channel. Leave comments on this video, like this video, share this video, and I will be back with you guys next week for another episode of the Have and the Have Nots. So until then, everybody, take care.